and I scoured the whole internet. Is that I don't like wearing orange? Hey! Can this be a thumbnail? It was 2 years ago, I wasn't really sure how to do that. Ta-da! My kind of sleeve swatches. And I unraveled the whole body, basically. The softest thing you have ever touched in your life. I had a lot more done before, but yeah, I had to unravel. Hi, my name is Maya, and welcome to episode 53 of my knitting podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process, and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. Today is the 5th of June 2025, and I'm coming to you from the French speaking part of Switzerland, where I live with my gecko. And I just remembered I said I would show you my gecko, so I hope I will remember to do that at the end of the episode. I hope. Maybe I should write it in my notes. Wait, I'm gonna write it. There. I should remember. Okay, so today's program, I have one finished object. I should have two, but it's not my fault. But I only have one. And I have 3 works in progress, including one big and wonderful acquisition. And I'm super excited to finally show it to you. And that's it. And then showing my gecko at the end, I hope. So first let's get started with what I'm wearing. So underneath this absolutely beautiful shirt, love it. This is my Arrow Bralette by Iris H. Iris Makes on Instagram, and it's like a open back thing. How do we call that? Yeah, it's a bralette, whatever. It's a sleeveless tank and it's a little bit see-through, so I'm just gonna cover myself up. And it's knit using Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. In the name has changed, but I think it was called like Natural White or something. It's very white and I love it. It's super easy to wear thanks to the white color, but it's itchy. Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino is soft, but when negative is like this one is, it's itchy. I can really feel it kind of everywhere. So yeah, I don't wear it as much as I could because it's a little bit uncomfortable. Which is a shame, but I think if it was for a positivist garment, it would be fine. But yeah, it's just a little bit too close to my skin. Other than that, it's absolutely perfect. I have nothing to say about this thing. It's the second time I'm knitting this design. The first time I used a yarn that was too warm and I messed up a little bit the shaping here at the sides. Can you even tell? There is shaping going on here. And I messed it up a little bit, I wasn't happy and I wanted to use the yarn for something else. So I just frogged the whole thing and then I knit this one. Completely off gauge. So I used 2.25mm needles and I knit the biggest size in the pattern, but it's very small because of the gauge. That's super small. And I also completely changed the bust shaping that I just showed you. So basically what I did is I just knit my own thing, because even the stitch count is a little bit different, but I just did my own thing for the bottom, and when I reached it's bottom up, the start of the motif here on the front, I started following the biggest size in the pattern. So yeah, it's a heavily modified version of the pattern, but it's a gorgeous pattern. I really recommend it, and it's not supposed to look like this if you knit your size. This is supposed to be, the V is a little bit smaller, it's more like that, but yeah, this is what I ended up with. And I used exactly 2 balls, so 50 grams of yarn, and it was an epic game of yarn chicken, even more because it's bottom up. But yeah, I won and I love it. It's really one of my best pieces, I think. Love it. Okay, now my finished object for today. It's not a garment, it's not an accessory. It's kind of homeware, but it's not the kind of homeware you're used to. So let me show you. It's a lampshade. And it's absolutely gorgeous, no? I think. Yeah, I knit this using mohair and it's completely freestyled. So the mohair is one skein from Woolen Twine Fiber Studio. It's in the shade, it's gonna be written here. And I had this skin laying around. I bought it when she started stocking her Cloud Silk Mohair base, which is a cruelty-free silk mohair, which is pretty rare by the way. And I wanted to support her, but then I realized I don't wear mohair because it's itchy for me, and I only had one skin. That was dumb. So it's been sitting in my stash for years, and I finally decided to do a lampshade with it, because this is the way I'm gonna use mohair the most, because I'm literally gonna use it every day. See it every day, and yeah, it's gonna be beautiful every day. So that was the best goal for it. So basically I just did the super dumb swatch just to kind of see how many stitches I would need for the whole circle, and then I cast on I think 160 stitches, and I used 5mm needles, and then I just selected a random lace motif in a stitch dictionary I have, and complete coincidence, it was the perfect stitch count. It wasn't planned at all. So it worked out great, and then I just found a way to place the motif so that I would use the whole skein. So I have used everything. I have maybe 2 meters of yarn left. I held it double, and I have a lampshade, and I just wanted to try to do something. Hi! I've been thinking to do that since all day yesterday. Can this be a thumbnail? Okay, I'm done. So yeah, gorgeous. I'm super excited to do the others. I need 4. And I will see what kind of lace motif I choose. I have tons of ideas. I could even do stripes. And there is a shawl by Isang. Is it Isang Knits or just Isang? I don't know. She does absolutely beautiful shawl designs, and there is one, I think it's called Baltica, and it looks like waves on the sea. It's like, wow, I love it so much. But maybe it's a bit too much lace, and I don't really wear lacy shawls, so I don't really want to knit it, even though I find it so beautiful. But I think using this motif in a lampshade would be gorgeous, so I hope to do that. And maybe another one more simple, where I just do the small little flowers with yarn over, knitted together, you know, the really small ones. Maybe a simple one like that, and the last one, I don't know, but yeah, I have tons of ideas. Yeah, so this project is bringing me a lot of joy, and it's super easy to do. You buy these at IKEA, and you just use whatever, not big needles, and you're good to go. So highly recommend, love it. Gorgeous. Okay, that's my finished object. Now, the works in progress. First, let me show you my Nuit Blanche Tee, which should be finished, but it's not, because I was waiting on yarn to be delivered. And usually, when I order within Europe, it arrives in less than a week. It's pretty rare that it takes more time, and if it's more time, it's like 1 day, maybe 8 days. This took 10-11 days to arrive. That's a lot. I'm probably complaining for nothing, but yeah, it was super nerve-wracking, because I ordered last Monday. Because, let me explain. So this is a drop shoulder tee design. I'm probably gonna try to put it on later, and it's just a classic shape, kind of. It has a very beautiful shaping around the armholes here to avoid having bulk of fabric at the underarms. And it has this detail here on the armhole. I'm gonna show you the picture of the original sketch I did. And my first idea was to use this color. So this yarn is Holst Coast in the colorway Petrol, and this is Cantalou. And they are gorgeous together. They are really super graphic, beautiful, and orange is the opposite color of blue. So it's a very striking and strong contrast. Beautiful, I love it. However, I didn't consider something. Is that I don't like wearing orange? Hey! And yeah, I just totally forgot, and I was completely submerged in the beautiful contrast that are those two colors without questioning if it's something I would want to wear or not. And it's not, because I don't like orange. This would be beautiful like in a homeware. I could totally do a cushion or even a whole whole blanket in those two colors, but just not on me. Basically, this teal is among my favorite colors. I love all kind of blues, teals, icy blue, purpley blue, everything blue I love. And this orange is the opposite of my favorite color. And yes, it's the color I like the least. Of course, it's the opposite. Yeah, so I started doing the tuck detail around the sleeve using this, and I was like, I hate it. First, because the shaping wasn't good. I was trying to be too complicated. I wanted to do increases in short rows to have a nice difference of size between the shoulder and the underarm, so that you wouldn't have too much bulk at the underarm, and so that the shape would be nice and rounded. And it didn't work at all. The increases in the short rows were just looking bad, and yeah, it just wasn't working. It was giving kind of a frilly, cute, wavy look to the thing, which is absolutely not what I had in mind. I wanted something modern, sleek and clean, and yeah, I was getting not the vibe I wanted. So I ordered a different color. Fortunately, I had bought shade cards of the Holst Coast so that I could compare the colors with this one, because the colors on the website are absolutely impossible to assess what they really look like in real life. And it's a good thing because, for example, this color is petrol, and the shade card of petrol is a lot darker. Let me show you. Oh, I think it's difficult to see on the camera, but basically the shade card petrol is a lot darker, and my color is a lot more, I mean, it's less dense and saturated, it's more washed out. And my contenders were the ones on top here, so I had this minty color, and then I had this light teal, and maybe another one. It's another one, yes, it's this one. Those could work as a lighter colors that I would like. And if my petrol was the same intensity as the one on the shade card, it would look beautiful with the darker ones, like this. The contrast would be good enough. But mine is a lot lighter, so I had to go with the super light one, this one. Otherwise the contrast wouldn't be enough. And it was impossible to find. Nobody in Switzerland stocked this color. Everybody has the other two lighter ones, those two, but this one, impossible to find. There are a lot of stockists of Holst Coast in Switzerland, but just nobody likes this color apparently. And even in the other countries like France or Germany, I just couldn't find it. So I had to order from Holst themselves, which is further away, it's Denmark. And that was last Monday, and I wanted to send out the test call for the design this Monday, so 4 days ago. But I thought, usually it comes in 1 week, so maybe I can just postpone the test call to Tuesday or Wednesday and we'll be fine. But then the yarn didn't arrive until yesterday. So it's not finished because I've been waiting on the yarn, because of course I cannot do the sleeves until I do the tuck stitch detail. So basically I decided to go with the monochrome look because it's just more me, it's more my style in this case, and I love the result so much, and I love this color so much. This is spearmint, I'm not even sure I say that. And I would totally want to have a garment in just this color, whereas in this, never. I would never wear something in this color. So yeah, that says a lot about color choice. It's not because there is just a little bit of a color that you can go with absolutely anything. And let me show you again the swatch, by the way. So this is the original DK weight swatch, and okay, I forgot to say a ton of stuff. This is DK weight swatch, so you can see the tuck stitch detail here. This one had the shaping and the short rows to make it look different size on the top and bottom, but for some reason here it worked, but in the real deal it didn't. I don't know. But yeah, if it only works 1 out of 2 times, it means if people were working this design, they would have not the best result 1 out of 2 times, which was not okay, so yeah, I had to change plans. So this is the old version of the tuck. It's DK weight, and this is fingering weight because I'm holding the yarn single in this one and I held it double in the swatch. because there will be 2 weights available for the pattern. This is 28 stitches, this is 21. This one is a bit more actually, but I went up some needle sizes for the actual grading of the garment, so that if you don't want to knit a 28 stitch gauge tee, you can do it in DK weight. Held double, held single. And yeah, the finishes are all folded over stockinette because I wanted a very clean and sleek look, and I didn't want any ribbing to compete with this detail. I just wanted overall smoothness. And I don't know if you can tell, but there is a line here, right in the middle, because I had to do some surgery because I wasn't happy with the shape of the front neckline. It was a little bit more U-shaped, like that, and I didn't like it, so I had to cut open the thing, unravel the top, it's knit top down, unravel the top, and re-pick up the shoulders, re-knit both front panels, and then rejoin them together, and then graft the whole thing to the part that was waiting here. So I have a little bit of a line. I steam blocked it and it got better, and I think by wet blocking it, it will completely go away. I hope. I think it should be fine. And yeah, so now I just need to finish this sleeve and then I can take pictures. Only one sleeve is enough. If I put myself like this in front of the camera, you're not gonna see I'm missing a sleeve. And I weighed my yarn before starting the sleeves so that I can just double the use of one sleeve to know how much I use for the second sleeve, so that I can calculate the yarn estimates for the whole design, for all the sizes. And then I can send out the test call, finally. So maybe today, but I don't think so. That would be wishful thinking. I don't have a lot left to do on the sleeve. It doesn't look like it, but I'm almost done with the short rows. And then I just have a bit straight to knit, but I don't think I can finish that today while there is some daylight. Even though the sun sets pretty late now, since we're in June, I don't think so. So probably tomorrow, unfortunately. I wanted this episode to be, hey, test call for the Nuit Blanche Tee, but yeah, won't happen. So tomorrow will be the test call for this guy, and I will leave it up until next Monday, I think, so you have a few days to apply. And yeah, I'm super excited. I love it. I just need this guy in my wardrobe so bad. I just need a big t-shirt like this. It's kind of, I made it kind of long. My belly button is right here, so it's hitting right here, which is the perfect length, I think. And yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And I still haven't tried it on, so let me do so now. Instead of holding it like this on top of me, I could just put it on. So this is what it looked like. Of course the sleeve is a little bit tight because the needles are a little bit small, but you get the idea. It's not completely blocked, and by steam blocking it, it did shrink a little bit because this yarn held single shrinks when you block it. Not shrinks, but like shrinks lengthwise because it stretched it out widthwise. So it did make the armholes come up a little bit, and I think by wet blocking it, it will do even more. So it's long like this, but I think it would probably come to here, which is perfect for me. And yeah, the shoulders are dropping, the neckline is beautiful, it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted kind of a boat neck style without choking myself. And yeah, you can see the shaping here that's coming inside gently with a very nice curve, so that you don't have the creases of fabric you usually have with a drop shoulder. This won't happen. I mean, if I put it correctly, yeah, it's not happening. Yeah! Same on the back, so you have this gorgeous shaping that follows the shape of your arm, like this, so that when you have your arm down, you don't have the bulk of fabric here that usually come with this kind of drop shoulder shape. And the sleeve cap will make the sleeve fall in a lovely way over your arm, so that the sleeve doesn't sit like this, but like this. Ah, I love it. So yeah, that's how it's going. I have no idea if this yarn is itchy or not. For now it's not, but also I'm wearing something that's itchy underneath, so maybe they are counterbalancing each other. I don't really know. And I also wanted to mention this is heavily modified, so I need like, it's kind of a size 3 on the front and kind of a size 7 or 8 on the back, because my back is a lot wider than my front. But if I don't do that and I just need like a simple size 3, the shoulders would look like this, and it just doesn't give the same effect on the front because the back is pulling all the fabric here and yeah, it's doing this kind of thing, whereas if I add bigger size on the back, it just folds more on my shoulders and I really have a drop shoulder effect. So yeah, mine is heavily modified. However, the way this fits is the way a standard size would fit you if you have standard proportions. But everything is in the pattern. If you need guidance on how to modify your size, if you have different shoulders than bust or stuff like that, everything is in the pattern. And I think that's it. So test call tomorrow, or maybe today, who knows, but tomorrow I think, for this guy. And it's of course size inclusive, there are 9 sizes, it's graded to fit the full bust, no, not, it's graded to fit the chest, which is the upper bust and not the full bust, because the shoulder fit is very important and the upper bust is a lot more representative of what happens on the shoulders rather than the full bust, because you can have big or small melons. If you watch the latest podcast episode, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so I think that's all for this one. Absolutely, that's all. So now let me take this off. I'm pretty sure some people are gonna ask where I got this shirt. You cannot get it anymore. I've had it for 10 years because I bought this right when I started my university studies, which was 10 years ago. So you cannot buy it anymore. I got it at Zara and yeah, it's gorgeous. Definitely the quality of the embroidery is pretty poor because the fabric is completely like pulled in, so not great, but the fabric in itself is gorgeous, like wow. And I love it, I really love it. But sorry, I don't think you can get it anymore. Alright, my next work in progress is absolutely epic. It's the magnum opus of my designing career. I'm so excited about it. Let me explain the genesis of the whole project. 2.5 years ago, I bought a sweater that I'm gonna grab right now. This bad boy, it's a Parks Project sweater, so it's an American brand that gives part of their sales to preserve the national parks in the US. And this is a collab with National Geographic. National Geographic. In French it's National Geographic, so I had some troubles. And I love it. It's like super graphic and beautiful, and it's also butter yellow before it was cool. And yeah, I wear it all the time. This color is super easy to wear. I didn't know before buying it, but it goes with absolutely everything. I mean, it goes with blue and darker blue jeans, it goes with purple, it goes with green, it goes with black, yeah, everything. I wear it all the time. This is my uniform. I just wear it all the time. I love it. It's very me. It's a fleece oversized sweater basically with this kind of high neckline, and it's very similar to those Patagonia fleece jacket sweater with the quarter button-up thing on the front, and it's a very like classic and timeless shape for this kind of mountain wear or just sportswear or whatever. And I've been wanting to design a knitted sweater with this kind of shape and vibe since I got this one. But yeah, at the beginning, it was 2 years ago, I wasn't really sure how to do that. And then boucle yarns started to become very trendy, and I was like, boucle would be awesome to mimic kind of the fleece look of this fabric. So boucle was kind of floating in the air, but I didn't really have a clear idea of what I wanted because I cannot really do big motif like this without doing intarsia, and then it's knit in pieces and then you have to knit flat, and I don't really like that. So yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted, and it took about a year and a half to really solidify the image of what I wanted to do with this kind of design. And I did a drawing. Are you ready? It's like it's absolutely epic. I fell in love with this idea, and it's super graphic, it's modern, it's beautiful, it's striking, it's everything I love. It's this, but in a knittable version, and I was so excited. So that was the idea for the graphic lines. Now for the colors that you can see here, the inspiration was something else that I'm gonna grab now. I thrifted this bad boy again years ago when I was in Bordeaux in France, and they have a ton of super cute thrift stores. Wow, that's hard to say. And I got this one there. So it's very, very big. It's very, I mean, you get the vibe. It's like so cool, and I just love wearing it. It's super, super cool. It's also gigantic on me. And yeah, it's this iconic mix of pink, like hot pink, deep purple, and then this aqua teal thing, and white. Gorgeous. And I really wanted to use those colors in this design. But white, kind of difficult because the other colors are probably gonna bleed into the white, so I just wanted something different than white. And I scoured the whole internet, everything, everywhere, every website, every kind of boucle yarn. I went on yarnsub.com, I spent 3 days there trying to find all the possibilities to find those exact colors in a boucle yarn, and then I branched out to blown yarns because they can also kind of give the same vibe I wanted for the fleece fabric I wanted to mimic. Impossible to find. Nowhere I could find a boucle that has the exact colors in the gauge I wanted, and yeah, it was just impossible. The only place on earth that would do a boucle yarn in those colors was Knit Picks. So when I found them, I put them on the side because it's in the US and I wanted to find something in Europe, but impossible. Nothing, nowhere, anywhere. Except hand dyers, but then the colorways were in pre-orders and you couldn't get them anymore. Unless I messaged them saying, hey, I want to do a design with your yarn, but the colors are not available. Yeah, I just didn't want to do like a collab or something or ask for yarn. Didn't want to do that. So I decided to go with Knit Picks. And while all of this was happening, I was chatting with a friend of mine, Katana, if you watch this, you know how important you are in this story. I was chatting with her about the color scheme, asking her for some advice on how to do the motif because I had the triangles, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to offset them or stagger them or how to put them. So yeah, I was just chatting with her. She was the only person to know about this design because I didn't want to reveal it before I was absolutely sure of what it was going to look like. So yeah, I was only chatting with her about that. And then I found out about the colors on Knit Picks, I showed them to her, I was super excited, and then I wanted to order them. And I discovered that Knit Picks only ships to the US, Canada, and Australia. And I was like, guys, why not Europe or everywhere else in the world? Why? And I just couldn't get it. And there are no stockists of Knit Picks in Europe, or at least not of the bubbly boucle base I wanted. And it was impossible to find. I even went on Ravelry and all the second-hand Etsy shops, all of that, and I couldn't find this yarn in Europe. It was just impossible. So I was chatting with Katana at the time, and she lives in the US, and she said like, hey, I can order the yarn and then I can send it to you. And I was like, oh, would you do that? She literally saved my butt. So I ordered the yarn and shipped it to her address, and then she shipped it again to me. She literally saved me. Like, I have no idea what I would have done. I mean, yes, I know. In the meantime, I had found that Explore Knits was having pre-order with the middle of the map collection, and actually they had the correct colors because when they did the monochrome collection, they had this bright pink, bright teal, and purple, and they had all the colors in this collection, but it was long gone. And they had the boucle base, but again, the collection was long gone. But in the new middle of the map pre-order, they had also some colorways that would look iconic in this design, so I ordered them before I found the Knit Picks Bubbly Boucle. but it's a pre-order, so it's only gonna come at the end of the summer, I think, which is, it was too late because I wanted to do this earlier than that. So I had a emergency plan, but what I really wanted was this color scheme. So Katana saved me, and she shipped to me those guys. Oh, it's exactly what I wanted, and they are the only place on earth that do boucle yarn in these colors. The only one, and they don't ship to Europe or anywhere else, or just the US. Why? So I got my colors, and I replaced the white with the lime, as you can see, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. I was scared that the purple would be too dark, but it's not. It's just perfect. What can I say? So I got my yarn, and then I swatched. Ta-da! They are awesome! Oh my god, they're so cool. So here is the colorwork motif, and they are knit in the round because I couldn't be bothered to do the long floats on the back thing. I hate this. So I did my kind of sleeve swatches. And yeah, it's perfect. So this one is knit on 5mm. This is 5.5. I think 5 is US 8 and this is US 9, I think. Do I have needles? Yes, I do. 5mm, US 8 and US 9. And funnily enough, they are exactly the same width. If I put them on top of each other, they are exactly the same. The only difference is the row gauge. Now, let me explain what I did. The smaller one on 5mm, I did standard catching my float on the back where you cross the threads. It looks like this. And it looks fine. I mean, this is the wrong side, so you cannot see how it looks on the right side. But there is a little bit of floats showing sometimes. Can you see? I don't know if you can see, but yeah, sometimes there is a little bit of color peeking through. So I wasn't 100% happy, and I'm a pretty clean knitter, so if I'm getting these results, probably a lot more people are going to get worse. Yeah, it's definitely showing a little bit. It's not too bad, especially if you look at it from afar. It's okay, really. But I wanted to try leatherback jacquard because I had never tried it. I had heard a lot of it, that it wasn't so hard. So I wanted to try, but if you know me, you know I like to solve my issues by myself and not look up a video when I think I can solve the thing. So I knew the concept of leatherback jacquard, which is basically you add a stitch on the back of your fabric so that you can knit your float in one column. That's not gonna show on the right side. So I did that with the second swatch, but the column was definitely showing on the right side because I forgot to knit this column of stitches on the back, like making the float go on the front before you knit. Yeah, basically if you know what I'm talking about, you understand, but I didn't think to do that first, and then I didn't have my phone with me and I was on the couch here and I didn't want to get up to get my phone, so I ripped everything and I started thinking, how can I solve the issue? And I solved it myself, so I'm pretty proud. So I reinvented the technique that already existed, which goes to say it's not too difficult. If I could find the solution by myself, it's that it's not too complicated, really, and I can confirm it's not. It's pretty easy. It's just you need to remember to do one thing when you knit each stitch, but it's not difficult to do. However, when you decrease that extra stitch when you get to the end, it shows a little bit again. There it's peeking a tiny bit. I think it's less visible than the other version, but you can, yeah, it's still a little bit there. But I think there is a way to make it disappear completely if you pay attention when you knit it. So I think this is the best solution. However, you do you. If you don't want to catch your floats, don't catch your floats. It looks like this on the wrong side. I don't even think, because yeah, this is bouclé, so you cannot see anything. But there is a column of knits here and here, but I don't, yeah, you cannot really tell. But I think it's because I used different catching float techniques on each that I got the same stitch gauge. However, the fabric does look a little bit looser on this one, which makes sense because the roll gauge is longer on this one. And I really prefer this one. In this, you can kind of see each boucle things, and it looks a bit more frizzy. I don't know. And this one looks more like a fleece fabric. Yeah, definitely. This looks more like the fabric I actually want to get. This one. So going the 5mm and probably gonna do the ladderback jacquard. Also what I did differently, at this one I knitted normally, but this one I knitted inside out. So I did magic loop, and instead of holding my project like this and working like this, I was working from the other side and working like this, so that the floats would be on the outside and to avoid too much tightness. Probably did the opposite because this one is the same size as this one, but yeah, I don't know what did what. And you can probably see in the picture that the top part doesn't have color work. Now let me explain the construction of this thing, because it's very much linked to the fact that it has color work and that it's using boucle. Color work knit flat is a pain. I've done it in the past and it's fine, but I don't like that you have to catch the end of the color work before you turn around, and you have to catch it after the last color work stitch, and this is a pain. The purling with the color work is not the worst, I think. So I just wanted to avoid having to do color work flat. But I still wanted to have this look the closest I could from this kind of construction. So you have the seam on the shoulder and then you have the seam on the armholes. So I didn't want a raglan and I didn't want a round yoke, which are both knit in the round and would have been perfect for color work, but I didn't want that. I wanted a drop shoulder, and you cannot really do a drop shoulder in the round, except if you do a saddle shoulder. No, not a saddle shoulder, because you need to make the flat panels on the front and the back. But if you do a contiguous shoulder or continuous, how is it called? The ziggurat method, the ones where you do the top part of the shoulders and then you pick up stitches here, and then you knit the rest of the yoke in the round and you do increases only on the sleeves. There are a few methods like that, and that would be perfect to mimic this construction without having to pick up the sleeve stitches, because picking up in boucle is a big no. At least not for a whole sleeve. If you just pick up for a little bit, it's fine. But yeah, for a lot of stitches it's too difficult to keep up with the stitch count and have the stitches be on the correct place without ending the pickup and you have 0 stitches left to do, but you have this much left to pick up, or the opposite. Yeah, whatever. Small amount of stitches was okay, but picking up a whole sleeve was not. That was the first reason why I ended up choosing the ziggurat method, which is the one where you knit a little bit of the back and then you pick up from the shoulders and you knit a little bit of the front and then you pick up a little bit on the top here and then you knit the rest in the round. Except this was not going to be in the round because I wanted this opening on the front. So it was going to be flat, which is good because color work, because of the floats, is double the thickness, and I didn't want to have the top part be stockinette and be a lot thinner than the color work, so I wanted garter. But it's going to be knit flat because of this, so you can do garter super easily. So everything worked out together perfectly. So in this drawing, basically the top part in the single color is in garter knit flat, and the bottom is in the round with color work. So this is my garter swatch, and I did 3 different needle sizes. So I started here with the 5mm until here. There are some eyelets. Don't know if you would be able to tell. Yeah, don't know. Yeah, here there is a little eyelet to separate them. So 5mm US 8, 4.5mm US 7, 5.5 US 9 here. Just wanted to test out the fabrics. I really prefer the fabric on the smaller needles because again it's the one that's closest to this, but it was an absolute pain to knit, and because of the boucle loops the needle was just catching all the time, and it was, yeah, I hated the process, even though this is the fabric I prefer. The best one, the easiest one, was the 5.5. That was super easy, it was a breeze to knit, the stitches were big enough for me to put the needle in, but this is way too flimsy, and especially if I want to have the whole weight of the garment on the top garter section. I didn't want something too flimsy, so I went with the middle one, which is the 5mm. So I'm basically gonna use the same needle throughout, which is great, I think. And then I realized that doing increases in boucle is also a pain, because you have to pick up the bar between and do the things. If you do a make one, you have to twist the bar thing, that's a pain. If you do lifted increases, you cannot really tell what's the stitch below the needle. And yeah, it was just difficult to do increases. And the zigzag method, you still have to pick up the stitches on the shoulders, which is not too much, it's just a little bit of stitches, but still, it's still picking up stitches. And I was like, is there a way to do this method bottom up? And if you know my road trip jacket design, it has this texture on the shoulders, which is knit bottom up, so you cast on here, you knit bottom up, and then you do bind off on the shoulders and you sew them together, and then you pick up from the cast on edge and you knit top down. And I was like, can I do the same with this one? So I started here. I have a super long cast on, because this is going like this around your shoulders, and you knit up and you do decreases here, so you decrease the sleeve stitches and you knit the body straight, so shaping only on one side. And once you have decreased almost all your sleeve stitches, the zigzag method is supposed to be top down. I have never heard about doing it bottom up, but if you just knit the stitches together here, basically it's the same as if you picked up on the other side, right? I mean, it works in my head, I'm gonna see when I get there, but it should work out. And then when you have no sleeve stitches here at the top, you do the shaping on the shoulder, probably short rolls or something, when you do the front neck shaping at the same time and the back neck shaping, and then you do 3 needle bind off, which is easier to do with boucle than picking up, and then you're done. And then you have the stitches. I'm not sure, I think I can have live stitches on the back, but I'm not sure I can have live stitches on the front because of the shaping. I'm not sure, I'm gonna see. So maybe you will have to pick up a little bit of stitches here, maybe not. And then you need the collar up, and you need double thickness, and then you're gonna have to sew it down, but I'm gonna have to see if it's too painful or not. Otherwise, I don't know, I will have to see. And the only place where I couldn't avoid the pickup is here for the bottom band, because I wanted it to be in a contrasting color. So unless you do intarsia, it wasn't really possible, and I didn't want this to be in garter, so that's the only place where you're gonna have to pick up. However, you can pick up whatever, the number of stitches doesn't matter because it's just a button band, and as long as you are kind of within the number of stitches range, you're good to go. So it's not too much, it's not too difficult to do, because you don't have to aim for an exact number of stitches like you would have to do for a sleeve. So the only place where you pick up, it doesn't matter how many stitches you pick up, which I think is doable. And then when you're done with the yoke part, I forgot to say, you start with the provisional cast on. So this is what I have here. I did Judy's Magic cast on, but you do whatever you want. Here, and I'm knitting here. And you have your stitches already there, you just put them back on the needle, and then you start working in the other direction with the color work, which you knit in the round, because the bottom of the monochrome section is the bottom of the flat section, and then you just start knitting in the round and you're good to go. You just have to do a little bit of increases, because the gauge, of course, of the color work is not the same as the gauge of the garter. So you have a little bit of fiddling around to do to have the correct stitch counts, but it's a lot easier than to pick up like 300 stitches from the cast on edge. They are already there. And then you just knit in around with your color work, and it's easy peasy. Just a little bit of shaping on the sleeves if you want, you don't have to. And at the ends, at the cuffs and at the bottom, I want to do a folded over stockinette and insert an elastic inside. Someone's calling me. Insert an elastic inside, and you can have this cute cinching in effect here that I love. Ooh, I'm so excited. I think I have to answer, sorry. There are workers coming in today for my bathroom and they wanted to know if I was available earlier, but I'm not. I am with you guys. And I think that's everything I wanted to say. Oh no, I had a big hiccup when I finally cast on this guy. I started working, the shaping on the sleeves and everything, but I was just not thinking and I started doing raglan decreases, which means I was decreasing on each side of the seams, which is not what I wanted. I only did it to decrease on the sleeves and not on the body. So I had to rip back, but ripping back in boucle, especially with the provisional cast on, was not funny. And I didn't want it to do the provisional cast on again. So basically I had to undo, I had like 15 rows done, which is a ton when you have this many stitches. So I unraveled everything except the 2 last rows, and I wanted to pick up the 3 last rows, and I wanted to pick up the second to last. And I started undoing each stitch and putting it back on the needle. Undo 1 stitch, putting it back on the needle, because I couldn't just pick up in the fabric because I cannot see anything. That was painful, but I did it. So this is where I'm at. I had a lot more done before, but yeah, I had to unravel. Yes! So that's what I wanted to say regarding this gorgeous thing. I'm super excited about it and I hope you are too. And yeah, this is the consecration. Can you say that in English? A dream of mine coming to life. It's been so long since I wanted to do this and it's finally happening and I'm just so excited. And again, I'm gonna have 2 gauges because this one, I'm holding the yarn double, by the way. It's a sport weight holding double, so it's kind of an iron gauge. The color work gauge is 16 stitches and the garter is, I don't remember, 13? The DK version of the yarn I have ordered from Explore Knits is gonna be DK, so I'm gonna have to modify the chart so that the triangles are the same size. But what I wanted basically is to have like a bulkier iron weight bulky version. If you want to use, like, I think Drops alpaca boucle or the blown yarns like Cielo from Holst or the one from Drops Air and all the stuff like that are all similar gauges that you can get like 16 stitches kind of in the color work. So that would work for all those kind of things. But if you want to use the DK boucle that are pretty popular for the hand dyers, I wanted to have another version because I like options. So there are gonna be 2 gauges available, which is gonna be a ton of work, but it's okay. Editing Maya. Of course, I forgot to tell you something. The name of the design, maybe. No. So it's called the Patagonia Sweater, obviously because it's heavily inspired by the Patagonia fleece jacket trend, vibe, all of that. And also because the little triangles, or the wavy things, whatever, remind me of mountain peaks, and the Patagonia logo has the mountain peaks. And by the way, it's not the Patagonia mountains that are on the logo, but the... oh my god, I forgot the name. Oh no, I forgot the name. I'm trying to look smart and all, but I forgot the name. I'm gonna put it on the screen, but yeah. It's a mountain peak chain and I just thought it looked a little bit like mountains. So Patagonia Sweater. I was hesitant to call it Patagonia Peaks or Patagonia Peaks Sweater, but that felt a little bit long. I'm still unsure, maybe Patagonia Peaks. Just if that sounds great. I don't know. If you have an opinion or an idea, feel free to tell me about it. And I also wanted to say something a bit more technical that I forgot to mention. The top part that's in garter stitch is, yes, going to stretch out with the wear and with the weight of all the color work on the bottom. So I wanted to use slip stitches around the seams, sleeves, things to hold up on the fabric, and I had knit a little bit of a substantial bit of fabric before, and I can confirm it makes the fabric very tight, so it's definitely gonna hold up all the weight of the rest. And yes, that's what I wanted to say. So I'll let you go back to the video. Alright, now my last work in progress is a lot less exciting because it's actually a finished object that I decided to repair. I went on a frenzy last week because I needed to like do the surgery on the front neck of my Nuit Blanche. I had to cut it open and stuff like that, and I decided to do a video and repair, fix, frog some other garments of mine that I wasn't wearing as much as I wanted because there was something off. So if you're interested, you can go and watch that video. It's pretty empowering. I know a lot of people were inspired to start and fix their own knits when watching this one, so if you need a little bit of motivation, I definitely recommend to go and watch it. I didn't finish a lot of my projects, and one in particular is my mini mock neck. That was... the body was a little bit too small because it was a little bit too short, and I did too much shaping, so it was a bit too tight and it was riding up like crazy, and since it was a little bit too short already, it was really too short. And I had a little bit of yarn left that was bothering me, so I wanted to add the yarn left into the thing so that it would be long enough, but while I was there, I might as well just redo the whole body with less shaping so that it would stop riding up. So this is where we're at. The end of the armhole is here, and I unraveled until up here, and then I started knitting it around again. So I did this much, and I unraveled the whole body basically, and I'm just doing a lot less decreases. Before I had done 4 stitches decrease. I had decreased 4 stitches every 5 rows, and now I'm doing half of that, so 4 stitches every 10 rows, and I'm gonna knit everything I had already, and then I'm gonna add the other leftover I had to have a super long body. I have found that these guys can never really be too long because they just ride up and then it's too short and I have to pull it down. But if it's super long, it's never too short and I don't have to pull it down as much. So yeah, I'm just gonna knit everything I have. This yarn is Olivia and Oliver Fibers Classic Sock in the colorway Lofoten Island. I love it so much. But funnily enough, I had already knit a garment, a t-shirt in this thing. It was too small, so I unraveled it and I knit the mini mock neck. Too small, so I unraveled the body and I'm re-knitting it again. So it's the 3rd time I'm knitting this yarn. But I just love it so much. I absolutely want this in a usable piece. So yeah, this is my mindless in-around knitting that I can throw in my bag and go anywhere with pretty easily, because my other project is going to be the sweater, which is going to be very impractical to carry around because I have the balls of yarn that are not very easy to carry. And if you're interested to see the other things I was fixing in this video, definitely go and watch it. However, I just wanted to mention, I started fixing a sweater that I knit using a yarn that's discontinued. This is linen quill worsted and it's discontinued. There is only the fingering weight available and I don't have enough. I wanted to lengthen the sleeves, so I have cut the sleeve off and I started knitting and I used half of my leftover. Absolutely not enough. So I was looking for people who have this yarn, maybe some leftovers of it, even 10 grams I would be happy with, and if you have some, can you please contact me so that I can buy it off of you. I will pay for shipping and everything, but yeah, I just need a little bit more. Even 10 grams would be fine, just to finish this guy, because this was the easiest fix of them all and I just had to stop because I realized I didn't have enough yarn, and I love this sweater and I love wearing it. This is the perfect season for it, but I obviously can't wear it. And I did find one person on Ravelry that was selling a skein of this yarn, but they didn't answer. So please, if you or someone you know have a little bit of cattle black in stash, can you please sell it to me? Okay, it's a good thing I wrote it down. I have to show you my gecko, so I'm gonna wake him up. Geckos live during the night and they sleep during the day, so he's currently asleep, but I'm gonna try and wake him up to show you. He's in there. Oh, my tiny dragon! He's so cute! The main reason I'm not showing him to you is because he sleeps during the day and I don't want to wake him up. I mean, look at how how cute he is. So he just moved. But there is one video, last year I did a series of summer vlogs. I mean series, there are 4 episodes. And on the 4th episode, the last one, I am showing him because it's quite late in the day and he was not asleep. What's the opposite of asleep? He had to wake up already. And oh, he's looking at me. Hello baby boy. And yeah, if you want to see him better than this, you can go and watch that video. I'm gonna link it up here and in the show notes, unless he comes out. His name is Urbain, which means urban, and he's an how do you say that? When animals live in trees, they live in trees, and I just found it funny to call him Urbain because it's the opposite of living in the trees. Because I have sense of humor. I'm not sure he's gonna come out, but he's here. In his little tube. Oh no! He's coming out from the back. I think he's a little bit scared. That's why, again, you can see him. I think he recognizes me because if someone he doesn't know holds him, he's a lot more stressed out. And when it's me, he's a lot more calm. But it's difficult to know because he's a reptile, so he's kind of poker face all the time, so I don't really know what he's thinking. Sometimes he does come in my hand when I give him food at night when he just woke up. If I open the door of the terrarium, he's gonna come by himself. So if he wants to have cuddles, he comes and gets cuddles. But right now, I just woke him up in the middle of the day, so I don't think he's in a very good mood. So I don't think he's gonna come. Oh, he came out! Hello! Well, there you go. That's my Gecko. For some reason, he always faces me. So it's gonna be difficult to show on the camera. I can show you his butt. And yeah, they jump. That's what they do. Fishes swim, birds fly, geckos jump. That's him. He's so sweet. He's so cute. Come here. Yeah, he's always facing me. Can you please watch on the other side? And also geckos climb. That's pretty normal behavior. But then if he gets on my back, I'm a little bit stuck, so that's what he does. He climbs around. And it's like the softest thing you have ever touched in your life. This is way softer than a cat. This is way softer than any kind of fur. It's like, I don't know how to say that. It's just incredible. I guess if you had one of those hairless cats, the Sphinx, I think, it would be a little bit similar. Oh, you can stay there. Don't jump, please. There. Stop watching me. Here you go. That's my gecko. He's a crested gecko, by the way, so he eats fruits and not insects. He's a vegetarian, basically. And that's him. So yes, thank you for watching. Oh, he's facing you. Thank you for being here, thank you for your nice comments, thank you for your support, thank you for likes. If you don't want to miss out on any future content I may put out, you can of course subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram if you want more kind of day-to-day updates on what I'm up to. And Urbain and I hope we will see you again in the next one. And until then, happy knitting! Bye! Say bye, Urbain! Bye!